I'm really excited, as you can tell, to be able to talk to you about something that I think is potentially the most exciting part of my role. Partnering with a multitude of global OEM partners on the journey to launch their vehicles digitally. Now, the word that I emphasize there is journey, because when ZeroLight enters into a new partnership with any new automotive partner, we approach this as a new journey altogether. Now, I refer to the fact that many digital experiences, many digital transformations, they're at different points with different brands. So established manufacturers, such as those you'll see here, will have established, mature data pipelines. They'll have an infrastructure that is set up and is readily working. Whereas the startups, the new-to-market manufacturers may not have any of that and are just building up from the ground. So our over a decade experience means that we can support them at any end of that spectrum, whether they're enhancing what's already there or building from the ground up. So insight number one, this is by far my favorite one. I'm putting this first for that very reason. You've invested lots of money. You've spent a lot of money on advertising, on PR, all to drive your customers to your website, your web destination on launch day. What happens when they get there? Don't invite them to an empty disco. Make sure that the content you've got on your website drives engagement and interaction with meaningful customer experiences that allows them to look into your car more and connect with it. Insight number two, not as fun as a disco, but still the same. And reservations don't always equal sales. Brands, once you get that initial deposit, you have to bridge that gap between getting that €100, €200 deposit and the final purchase amount. And finally, the launch car, it's not going to be the car that you sell. Build for agility in your digital pipeline. So, insight number one then, let's get started. As I say, you're investing loads of money as an OEM into these experiences to drive attention to your website, your web destination on launch day. Now, you've invested in PR, in advertising, in influencers perhaps nowadays. But what happens when they get there? They arrive at an empty experience that's got next to nothing in there, maybe a vehicle landing page and lots of text. Now, we know that the return on investment of your vehicle launch as a manufacturer or as a partner to that manufacturer relies on converting that attention into meaningful customer engagement. And let's not forget that digital, it will represent your car. We should consider it as your car because customers, they can't go to a showroom. They can't see it. They can't see what will convert them from being just a simple browser on the internet or a tire kicker in the showroom to actually wanting to purchase that vehicle. So, first brand showcase that we're going to get into. We're really proud to work with Suzuki in the UK, who wanted a new experience to showcase their range of vehicles to their market. Now, the objective was clear from Suzuki when we met them and were invited to work with them. They wanted to match the excitement of discovering a new Suzuki vehicle that you'd otherwise get in person. But this offers a creative and unrestricted method of discovering your next car. So these are points that would otherwise be missed on a static experience or in reams of text on a landing page. So customers can open the trunk, they can see the dimensions within, they can hop into the interior, they can activate the ambient lighting. These are all features that are otherwise missed, other than going to see the actual physical product that may not exist yet. Now, the results from this have been pretty great. So this recently went live just this year. Dealer inquiries have increased tenfold, and finance calculations have more than doubled. Now, additionally, in regards to SEO optimization, what we see is that people are spending longer on the brand's website because they're spending longer being able to explore the car, hop into the interior, and find out what it is that they want to buy it for. And this means that it's not just a brand showcase. This is a true conversion driver. But what about targeting people perhaps not on the OEM.com in a completely different solution altogether? Key demographics are no longer hanging out just on the internet. They're hanging out in TikTok, doing things that I don't know because I don't use TikTok. But hey, I'm not the age that Kia were trying to target with this all-new experience. Now, this is quite a mouthful to say, but this is the first ever TikTok creator configurator for the Kia K4. And what you can see here, we collaborated with a range of different content creators, influencers, who used ZeroLight assets to create the content that you see in these videos. And it's pretty impressive. These are thumb-stopping visuals that are impacting the customer experience. And then once they've selected their vehicle, they're sharing it to a dealership to continue that buying journey and bridging that gap between digital to physical. The results from this were pretty impressive. The number of configurations that were recorded were over 300,000, and it's won 3 industry awards as well, just over the past year. So it's been highly, highly effective. But you're probably thinking now, hey, Suzuki and Kia, these guys are racking up the reservations. There's nothing else that they need to do. Job done, they're on the beach. There's nothing else that they have to do with regards to this vehicle launch. Wrong, because reservations do not equal sales. I told you this was going to be a real roller coaster, but here we go. As you know, this is insight number 2, and we've got to bridge that gap between getting that €100 deposit and the full purchase amount with meaningful interaction in between that otherwise silent phase. And why is that? It's because the barrier to entry is designed to be accessible, right? So €100 deposit is designed to be low. Most automotive buyers can afford €100 deposit. Now, it's the full purchase amount that has the greater complexities within it. So they've got to understand, the customer has got to understand financing options. Which trim best aligns with my budget and my lifestyle? If I've got 3 dogs, I don't want to buy the white trim. Okay, I don't want that. That's not going to work for me. Things like that they can't understand without interactive experiences. Now, what you're seeing here is the first ever VW live Beratung, or live consultation. And what this does, at a time that's convenient to the customer, connects them with a dealer from anywhere in the world. So the customer could be in Munich, the dealer or the brand representative could be in Berlin or Finland or Sweden or wherever. And what this does is it allows the customer to ask qualifying questions to find out all of the things that they would otherwise go to other channels to ask. And they co-create their perfect vehicle together with the knowledge, with the guidance of that brand representative. And it just means that this is blending the connection and knowledge of an automaker professional with the convenience and flexibility of online. And it's been highly effective at empowering OEMs to sell their vehicles digitally all over the world. Now, we feel that the experience shouldn't stop there. And again, I've referred to it many times, but that long, silent pause between the customer giving up that deposit, the €100 or however much it is, and then that full purchase amount. So once they've committed, perhaps they have been on a live Beratung experience, and they're already really engaged, they're really excited for their new purchase to arrive. But the car isn't on their driveway yet. They can't see it yet. So why not bridge that gap with personalized content, such as what you're seeing here? And the smartest brands are now using automated dynamic content that represents the customer's exact configuration, down to the single accessories, such as roof rails, in all of the content that that person receives after that reservation's received. Maybe 2 weeks prior to them actually receiving their order, why not send them an AR model that represents their exact configuration of vehicle? Put it into their world and immerse your product into their actual living space, their dealership, their driveway, their garage, their place of work. Get them to share it with their friends and family and spread that enjoyment and that brand awareness. And that leads us to our third and final insight. Now, the car that you launch is not a sold car. And this is a bit of a technical insight more than anything. Now, you'll know more than anyone if you're in automotive. Building for agility, it's not the easiest thing. But with a flexible partner that isn't rigid, that isn't expensive to continuously update as your product evolves, is the key for this phase. And the whole intention here is that you're building trust, because a customer that comes to a website or a web destination that sees content that is outdated or doesn't match the physical product once it's launched, it's just not going to create that ongoing trust between you and that customer. So what we're effectively saying here is, this is the reason that we were selected by Slate Auto. Now, Slate are a brand new EV company in the US out of Michigan. Now, the Slate platform effectively is highly customizable. It can convert from a 2-seat pickup to a 5-seat SUV. The number of possible configurations of this vehicle are in the undecillions, which I had to Google this because I'm not a maths person, but that is 1 followed by 66 zeros. That's the possible number of configurations, even right down to the accessories you can clip onto the grille on the interior. Now, they needed a platform that was stable, that was scalable, and was agile to industry changes and their digital pipeline that was evolving as a new-to-market EV. And what this means is that for the future, Slate has an experience that is pulling in 100,000 reservations in their first 2 weeks, 6.5 million individual sessions recorded in that first time frame. So it's remarkably stable, and Slate have really been able to make a footprint on the industry with this experience for their emerging fan base. And then finally, so our final brand showcase. Now, this is one of my favorite places in the world, Mitsubishi Motors North America, over in Tennessee in the USA. Now, we were already working with Mitsubishi before this solution went live. And this was a purely data-driven decision by the execs over at Mitsubishi, okay? We were already integrated. We have 4 visualizers on vehicle landing pages on their website that were driving increased KPIs such as engagement and interaction metrics. So they took the decision to implement a solution, which is exactly as you see here, to their website that replaces their existing build and price solution. Now this is fully integrated, as you see, as the customer works through their choices, the pricing updates in real time, the product information updates as it would if they were with a dealer. It's fully integrated to that back end. And we've been able to secure that future-proofing, that agility for Mitsubishi Motors, not only in their digital pipeline for these models that you see here, with key animations, being able to explore the trunk, hop into the interior, but also with real-time pricing information. Now, at the end of the session on this summary page, they're invited with a summary, as you'd expect. That's the minimum we can do for them. But they are then bridging the gap between the digital exploration and investigation, that awareness phase, and going through to the inventory side. And what this does is it hands over the exact build to Mitsubishi's click shop solution and searches for their exact vehicle at a location near them. And it's just bridging that solution. It's making everything real from digital into physical, which is key, and it's so often overlooked. So that are those 3 key insights. And I told you, this is a roller coaster. I know this is too much. It's too much to take, but hey, we're going to look at some future innovation coming from ZeroLight and how we're shaping the future of automotive visualization. Now, we're pushing the boundaries of real-time 3D with Unreal Engine. Now, this isn't just a vehicle landing page, okay? What we're doing here is we're immersing the customer into a world that best showcases the brand, the manufacturer. Give them the image, the perception of what you want to represent in your buying journey. So this is a valley in Wales. It was captured by drone, but at its very, very center is this digital model on the ZeroLight platform that is product correct, every single configuration available in real time for the customer to see their car in motion. And secondly, generative AI. It wouldn't be a presentation if you didn't see Gen AI. You'll hear a lot about it at IAA. But again, what we're trying to maintain here is that instead of creative-led solutions and innovation, this is very much tech-led. This is stepping into the future of what generative AI can do for the automotive visualization industry. But what we're trying to maintain is that that product correct digital model at the center of it has to remain digitally correct. Gen AI is really powerful, but that means it can alter your product beyond what is actually represented in a showroom. So the model there is from the ZeroLight platform, built from your CAD data, but the world around it can become as wild as AI will let it. So it's just about maintaining control and making sure your product is product correct. So you take a breath. What a marathon. We can just review those insights again. So the empty disco, my favorite. Do invest, highly invest in your web destination. Reservations don't always equal sales. Bridge the gap between that reservation and the full purchase amount with interactive and personalized content. And the car that you launch is not a sold car, okay? Build for digital agility in your pipeline from day one. And again, a little bit about AWS. You've been such gracious hosts so far, so thank you. They give us the performance that we need with high-quality GPUs, high-powered GPUs across the world, scalability that we need with extensive data centers, and the reliability that we need as well. In 10 years, we've streamed over 50 million minutes with AWS, and we've had unmatched uptime in that time as well. And then onto ZeroLight. ZeroLight, we're leaders in automotive visualization technology. This is just a handful of the automotive brands we work with, and effectively our platform has empowered these companies to launch their cars and sell them worldwide. As I say, 50 million minutes streamed across countless countries around the world. And again, if you feel that we can support your next car launch, by all means, please connect with me. That's my LinkedIn, that's my email address. I'm here today and tomorrow. Please feel free to reach out.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Big round of applause, everyone. Jamie.